The human body becomes stranger as we understand more about it. One of the strangest things on the planet is the human body. We're made up of a skeleton and are filled with squishy fluids. We started out as a single cell, but the strangeness doesn't end there. Here are some odd facts about the human body that you probably didn't know. One nostril does the majority of the job. One by one, your nostrils open and close. During the day, when we breathe in and out of our nose, one nostril does the majority of the job at a time, with the role swapping every few hours. This nasal cycle is governed by the same autonomic nerve system that controls heart rate, digestion, and other unconscious bodily activities, and is the reason why our nose clogs up one nostril at a time when we blow our nose. During a flight, up to 30% of your taste buds are lost. This could help to explain why aircraft food has such a terrible reputation. The increased altitude in an airplane can impair our capacity to taste things. According to a 2010 study conducted by Germany's Fraunhofer Institute for Building Physics, the dryness and low pressure encountered at a high elevation decreases a person's taste bud sensitivity to sweet and salty foods by roughly 30%. Add to that the fact that dry cabin air impairs our capacity to smell, and our ability to taste is further affected. Sweat does not have a bad odor to it. You may find that any sweat you create immediately after showering does not smell as terrible. This is because perspiration isn't stinky in and of itself. The stench is caused by microorganisms on your skin breaking down the sweat. You'll also notice that sweat on your arms and legs does not stink as much as sweat on your armpits, because sweat glands in your armpits secrete more protein, creating a dark, damp environment that is ideal for bacteria to thrive in. We have stripes. Tiger stripes aren't unique to tigers. Human skin has a striped pattern as well. We just don't see it very often. Our stripes, known as Blasco lines, develop as our cells divide and our bodies grow in the womb. Most of the time, these rows of cells, including skin cells, appear to be identical and hence are not apparent as stripes. Certain rashes, though, will follow the lines, making them apparent, and they can sometimes be seen under strong UV light. Even if you can't smell it, everyone's pee stinks after they eat asparagus. After eating asparagus, does your pee stink? This was formerly a contentious subject, with some declaring it was true and others having no idea what their friends were talking about. Because some people detect a cabbagey odor in their own urine while others do not. The next logical step in this strange reality is that some persons create the odor while others do not. But there's more to this unusual bit of trivia. Persons who claim they don't get stinky urine also claim to be unable to identify the odor in other people's urine. The current theory is that we all make the odor, but only some of us are able to detect it, although scientists aren't sure. It's possible that just a few of us produce the stench, and only a few of us are able to detect it. Your stomach digests itself on a regular basis. Why doesn't your stomach digest itself if it has so many enzymes and acids? Actually, it appears that it does. The cells that line your stomach grow quickly in order to replace those that are killed in the course of their everyday duties. Every 3 days or so, we develop a new gut lining. When it's inside of you, your poop is liquid. Food enters your body as a solid and exits it as a solid, normally, but it spends the majority of its time in between as a liquid. Consider this: your stomach is essentially an acid bath, and your small intestine is a narrow tube that functions similarly to a garden hose. Food in the process of digestion is a liquid called chyme, and it's not a solid burger that's making its way down the pipe. The majority of the water is absorbed back into the body only towards the end of your former food's journey, leaving solid waste at the end. Humans are approximately half bacteria and half humans. There have been studies dating back to the 1970s that show the human body contains more bacterial cells than human cells. While bacteria in and on humans is vital to your health, as microbial ecologist Ruth Lay of the Max Planck Institute put it, "You're more microbe than you are human," as UC San Diego's Rob Knight put it. Researchers in the 2010s wanted to know how big of a difference there was between humans and microbes. The ratio of bacterial to Schwann cells was estimated to be 10:1 at its maximum point. Since then, scientists including Ron Sender, Shai Fuchs, and Rob Milo have proposed a 1:1 ratio instead. The updated figures give researchers a better approximation to quote without losing sight of the human bacterial connection. Lactose intolerance is supposed to exist in humans. Although it may appear that lactose intolerance affects just a small percentage of people, it affects around 2/3 of adults, namely lactose. When babies are born, they are fed milk, either from their mothers or from another mammal, which they can digest due to high quantities of lactase enzyme in their intestines. Lactase levels in the body diminish as people age, making milk digestion more challenging. However, this means that 1/3 of the world's population has rejected conventional wisdom. The relatively small number of people who can tolerate milk has actually expanded over thousands of years, despite the fact that enormous numbers of humans can drink milk, eat cheese, and enjoy other dairy products without difficulties. According to researchers such as Mark Thomas of University College London and Loren Cordain of Colorado State University, increased lactose tolerance is due to humans persevering through potential side effects in exchange for milk's nutritional value, as well as the development of efficient lactose digestion systems. Your digestive system has the ability to give you superpowers. Yes, if her child is pinned under a car, a mother may be able to lift it up. When your sympathetic nervous system detects danger, adrenaline is generated, which speeds up your heart rate, raises your breathing rate, dilates your pupils, and, most significantly, shuts down your digestive system, allowing muscles to contract with amazing force. Your digestive system can't devote all of its energy to these other vital functions indefinitely, but in an emergency, its ability to halt fire can save the day. The brain consumes 20% of the oxygen in your bloodstream. The brain is just approximately 2% of our body weight, yet it requires more oxygen than any other organ, making it especially vulnerable to oxygen deprivation. So take deep breaths to keep your brain healthy and floating in oxygenated cells. At night, the brain is far more busy than it is during the day. You'd think that all of the moving around, sophisticated equations and tasks, and general interaction we perform during our working hours would require a lot more brain capacity than, say, resting in bed. The contrary is, in fact, true. Your brain switches on when you turn off the light. Scientists aren't sure why this occurs, but all those sweet dreams can be attributed to your brain's hard work while you sleep.